now that I'm looking at it, Gavin left a comment, consider intimacy at scale and the opposite of intimacy. It'd be, might have to talk with him about that because I'm curious to hear what he was thinking there. I guess if I could riff on it briefly, I think um, the way that I see this phenomena as scaling is through a memetic, almost like a contagion, um, where um, it's an unveiling of the fact that we are already doing this. We already live in the kingdom, folks. We already live in the kingdom, and it's just a matter of whether or not you have the eyes to see it. And I think it'll be like something that spreads where the I actually think it's what's happening in the corner to some extent. This spirit in the corner. It's this people seeing each other. We're not getting stuck at the surface mask level, and um, or the propositional level or anything. It has to do with encountering the other, and um, I think that people will feel this spirit or something, the spirit which I'm speaking of, which has to do with this deeper level of intimacy, which I think is possible, which I know is possible, and I think it will spread memetically, and uh, memetically both in the sense of a meme, where it's a meme, like I think of this as a meme, which I am promulgating to some extent, and I also think about it mimetically as in mimesis, where people will naturally imitate it when they encounter it, which I think is also already going on. And this is a good segue into what I was saying about mirroring, right? Because something curious has been in my mind when it comes to the masks that we wear and also Jesus, right? Jesus being all to all and um, uh, being like a perfect mirror. Um, and something about this connected to what I was saying about letting your heart break. And I also think it connects to this whole, I was going to say new age, but we really need a new term. This whole, this modern form of spiritualism. I guess this spiritualist thing about um, empaths. You'll find a lot of modern spiritual folk talking about, I'm an empath, I'm a star seed, I'm a light worker. I think it has to do with that, this empathic ability. I'm also reminded, I think I heard Luke Thompson, he's a good example of somebody who's high in sensitivity in this respect. And I kind of mentioned that last time in the sense where I'm like, I feel very cautious about mind control and propaganda because I feel not to elevate myself or anything, but I feel particularly sensitive to these type of things. And I'm not trying to compare myself to Jesus. I am simply noticing some sort of conceptual link here and hoping to explore it, which is that this letting your heart break thing, something about it I think has to do with how people project onto, let's use me as an example. People project onto me, they have an idea about who I am, perhaps based on some recorded videos, and and when you encounter somebody, they throw this projection onto you, right? And um, something about letting that happen in a way where it's like, um, in order to reflect their mind back at them, it's almost like not interrupting that process of projection or something like that. We don't want to lose ourselves in this, but at the same time, we do. Um, in the sense where when people throw their projection onto you, if I'm an empath in that situation, I'm going to play that game. I'm going to play the game that they're throwing onto me, and I'm going to be that guy in their mind. And in in the video I just posted about the spirit in the corner, um, at the end it was said that you Jesus was meeting people where they were at, and he would be different depending on who he was with. And I think that this is a flaw when it comes to the internet, because obviously this video is geared at this video that I'm recording right now is for no one in particular, right? It's for everyone in a sense, and that is not normal. That is not that's not normal. But it's not to say that has no place or anything, but to sync up with the other person's idea about you and to play that game and to go into it and to it's almost like to not rebuff their noose. If their noose is their mind or whatever you want to say it. It's almost, there's a weird thing about prophilicity too. It's like using these, I don't know if you'd call them masks, but using these personas in a way, it's like kind of to mirror their persona back at them. Because what people are projecting is not actually a one-to-one projection of who you are. Usually it has to do with, I'm probably doing it right now. I'm talking to whoever you in my mind are. Don't fall into my projection because because it's pointless in a sense online. They're usually not projecting a one-to-one idea of who you are, right? And we want them to do that. I want people to see things truly, right? And this is not to say we want them to see objectively what is there. It's more so, we want them to see what they are called to see by God or something like that. And by mirroring their seeing, I can't really demonstrate it in this arena because, I'm looking at a camera, and but by mirroring their projection back to them, not in like a violent way, but in like a passive way almost, where I'm just allowing their projection to kind of bounce off of me, then in a way, it's almost like there's usually an element as well of this is who I think I am, this is who I think I am, and they're telling you who they think they are via this projection. And it's like for me to not react to it, but rather just to kind of play along in a way. They end up seeing their own reflection on me. And something about this reminded me of Jesus. And yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what I mean to say here, but hopefully you found that interesting. I guess one other thing is to connect this back to McMo's comment talking about the courageous vulnerability of seeing and being seen. I think they go hand in hand. I talked about how there's two elements to this phenomena which you can encounter, and one of them is the being who we are, being godly, being in touch with our God self. No, no, being integral, being virginal in the sense of Marian, perfectly receptive to the logos of you, and the logos of you is your soul or something. And the other aspect is the symbolic seeing, balanced perceptions. And I think the seeing and the being seen go hand in hand. And I'm not sure. I think I'll leave the idea open in order to prompt further thoughts about it. So thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.